When we take a GLP-1, having a low appetite is what we want if the goal is weight loss. The problem is when our appetite is too low and we can't eat any food at all. This can lead to too much weight loss in a short amount of time. And to a lot of people, this may seem like a good thing, but rapid weight loss comes at a cost. And the cost being an increased chance of side effects like hair loss, muscle loss, more loose skin, and low energy or fatigue. I'm Nico, nutrition coach on tirzepatide, showing other GLP-1 users what I do to get better results from the meds by using proper nutrition. And in this video, I'll go over how I eat food with a low appetite to prevent a lot of the common side effects of rapid weight loss. And by the end of the video, you should have an idea on how to eat food when you're not hungry and avoid all these things you might be dealing with. First, how does rapid weight loss cause these side effects? So for hair loss, hair is made up of these nutrients: protein, fats, vitamins, and minerals, specific vitamins and minerals. When we want to lose weight, we eat less food, and when we eat less food, we get less nutrients, and less nutrients means potentially less hair. Now, hair loss is common when losing weight. Not everyone gets it, but when you lose weight rapidly, there is an increased chance of getting it. Next is low energy and fatigue. A lot of people can get it from their GLP-1, especially if their dose is too high. I personally have not experienced it. I mostly get it from not eating enough food or carbs. When we lose weight rapidly, that probably means we can't eat enough food. And if we can't eat enough food, that probably means we can't get enough calories and carbs. Next is muscle loss. This is similar to the other 2 points where if you have a low appetite, you're probably not eating enough food to get enough protein. And if you're not eating enough food, you're not getting enough energy for strength training, which also helps prevent muscle loss. Now for loose skin, skin is elastic and it could take time for it to either stretch or shrink. Now, how fast it can stretch or shrink depends on age and genetics, and unfortunately, they are factors that we can't control. Now, to prevent getting more loose skin, the next best thing we could do is lose weight at a moderate speed because it helps skin keep up with the weight loss. If we lose weight rapidly, it might be too fast for our skin to shrink. So how fast is too fast? I like to use this chart, and I like to aim between 0.5% to 1% of my goal body weight per week. Going below 0.5% is too slow for me, and losing above 1% can be too fast, and you get an increased chance of getting the side effects I just mentioned. It's not guaranteed you get those side effects, but the longer and faster you lose, the higher the chance you can get them. So 2 ways I prevent rapid weight loss, and that is reducing my dose and low appetite management. Let's start with reducing my dose first. So I consider reducing my dose when I can't eat enough calories and nutrients and I can't handle side effects. For me, it's typically nausea, sometimes a headache, but that's just on the day I take my shot. For other people, it could be things like vomiting or extreme fatigue or low energy. If I'm dealing with both of these, then I highly consider reducing my dose. Okay, let's move on to low appetite management, or in other words, how I eat when I'm not hungry. By the way, all the methods I mentioned, you don't have to do all of them, just however many you need. I usually do about 1 or 2 of them, and I switch it up if I need to. First, I have more liquid calories and less solid foods. Liquids digest faster than solid foods, so if I have a low appetite, then I can eat more. If I have a low appetite, I have more liquids because that means I can have more calories throughout the day. In this picture, I have soda and a dessert drink. Usually, I would have a diet soda, but in this case, I need the calories, so I just got a regular sugar soda. And the dessert drink is just like some mango ice slushy thing. It's mostly fruit, but it has a lot of calories. Next, I have more calorie-rich foods and less high-volume foods. Calorie-rich foods are usually things we consider to be like junk food or fast food or even some restaurant foods. High-volume foods tend to be things with more water content, fiber, and are lower in calories. These are usually things like fruits and vegetables. Some people might have a hard time with calorie-rich foods because they tend to have a lot of fats, and the fats can trigger some nausea. Sometimes that happens for me. So you just have to be more aware of your food choices to make sure it doesn't happen. There are also some healthy alternatives like nut butters and dates and other dried fruits. Those are good options, especially if those higher calorie junky foods don't sit well. And in this picture, I just have some tacos and some crumble pies. I have a sweet tooth, so I like having desserts, so any opportunity I can get to get them, I will. Okay, next I eat food in a certain order. Protein first, then carbs and fats, and then vegetables, and then I hydrate last. I have protein first because it helps prevent muscle loss while losing weight, so it's a priority for me to get in my protein and hit my daily goals. If I eat the other foods first, then I might be too full to eat enough. Next, I have the carbs and fats because these are the bulk of my calories. Sometimes if my appetite is low, then I'll probably try to make sure I don't have as many fats because it can trigger nausea for me. And third, I have vegetables, but sometimes I just skip it altogether and don't eat it when I have a low appetite. mostly because they're really filling and lower calorie. And again, I'm trying to avoid rapid weight loss, so I need as many calories as I can get, still while losing weight. Then I hydrate last. This means I drink whatever beverage I'm drinking after I eat everything. Similar to the high volume foods thing, where if I have too many liquids, it can fill me up and I can't eat enough of the other foods and get in my calories. I do this thing where I sip between bites and I drink between meals. That means I'll just take little sips of whatever drink, like water or soda, as I'm eating. And then after my meal is over or in between meals, that's when I have more liquids. And to give an example of what this looks like on this plate, I'll have the chicken first, and then the carbs or the rice, and then the vegetables, but most of the time I'll just skip it or I just won't even plate it. And then I drink whatever drink I have after all this. So the next thing I do with a low appetite is I have tasty food and added flavors. Tasty food is related to the calorie-rich foods, but the added flavors are more so things you add to your food to make it more appetizing. Tastier and more appetizing foods can help you eat more of it. So I would add things like salt, spices, hot sauce, lemon, and lime juice. These are usually lower calorie to 0 calorie. You can use added flavors with calories like sauces, but I tend not to use them because I don't want to track or measure them. Next is go-to and convenient foods. When we have a low appetite, we tend to have low energy, and the last thing we want to do, or in my case, is cook anything. So having snacks ready to eat is a really good way to get in the food and energy I need. I usually have things like fruits, crackers, and protein drinks. And in terms of meals, I tend to have meal prep that I would buy from fast food places. These are all clean foods, I would say. It would be things like plain white rice and chicken steak from Chipotle, or chicken and rice and vegetables from Panda Express. It's nice because I don't have to cook them. I just put it in the microwave, or if I really want to, I can eat it cold too. Just anything for me to avoid cooking. Okay, next is a longer eating window. I start eating earlier in the day and I stop closer to bedtime. Digesting food takes time, so having that longer eating window gives me more time to digest and eat more calories. If I had a shorter window, then it'd be hard for me to cram in, let's say, like 4 to 5 meals and all my calories. I'd probably be too full and uncomfortable to do that consistently. So this one personally helps me a lot. All right, and last, I have smaller and more frequent meals. Regular size meals tend to be too much for my stomach to handle. So if I have smaller meals, especially spread out throughout the day, again, it gives me more time to digest. Now, smaller meals doesn't necessarily mean less calories. I just have the calories that I need to eat throughout the day and just spread them out more. I tend to like having smaller meals because if I eat too much, then I get nauseous and I feel like throwing up. So this is a good way to prevent all that if you deal with it. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.